There are very few things that I think everyone should do, but journaling is one of them.
Is it daily for you journaling, Derek?
For me, yeah. I like to have the unbroken habit of every single day has a diary entry. I started 13 years ago when I remember where I was standing when I wished that I could go back and read what I was doing in my 20s. And I
Mm.
thought, damn, it's a shame that I don't have a diary then. I've just got a few random little tidbits. But was I as happy as I think I was? Was I as lost? What was really on my mind? What was I doing? What did I do with my day? Damn, I don't remember. A little bit, but I don't trust my memories. What a shame I don't have a daily diary I could read. Now, 20 years later, I thought, well, best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today. So, all right, starting today, at the age of 42, I started keeping a daily journal. And every single day has an entry for the last 13 years. And I think it's maybe the single most useful thing I do is to just every day, even if I'm busy, at very least, write just 10 sentences about what I did today. If I don't have time to go into the emotions, all right, no, well. But ideally, I share just quickly what I did today because I think future self would want to know. And then I try to share the emotions. And fuck it, let's tell this story now. This has turned out to be concretely so useful to me to look at my past self at a time when I was in a situation that either I'm thinking of getting into again or thinking of prolonging. It's helping my future decisions by looking at my past self that was in the moment.
Mm.
So I'll give you one tiny example and one big example. The tiny example was an event that I did 8 years ago that they asked me to come back to that event again. I barely remember it. And I went and found it in my diary. When I did that event last year, did I like it? And the answer was yes. Wow. I loved that event. I barely remember it, but now reading my diary, I loved doing it. I loved the people there. I loved being there. It was inspiring. It was energizing. So, yes, I will come to your event again. Thank you, diary, for reminding me how it went last time. Uh, Another one, though, I was in a 2-year long relationship. Well, I didn't know at the time it was only a 2-year long. I was 2 years into a romantic relationship that was about to get intense. We were planning on having a kid and planning on getting married. And she was screaming at me and angry at me about something. And it felt like, wow, we've had 2 happy years together. But it's really tough right now. Really, really tough. And then a friend said something about how he thinks it's always been tough for me. I said, really? And I went back to my diary and I reread every single entry since the day we had met 2 years ago. And it took 8 or 9 hours to read through every entry, but oh my God, it turns out that what I had remembered as a happy relationship, if I looked at my day-to-day experience of being in that relationship, it was usually bad. Every day,
Wow.
well, no, more days were hard than not. Most of the days were, ugh, this is really difficult. I don't know how long I can do this. And that was only 1 month into it. 3 months into it, I'm like, ugh, this is really hard. I'm feeling really frustrated. This is really difficult. 9 months into it, 13 months into it, 15 months into it, I kept looking and it was hard most of the time. But my sunny, optimistic personality had misremembered the past as mostly good because I just maybe amplified the few good moments in my head and went, ah, she's great. She's wonderful. We're great. We're wonderful. But no, most of the time was bad, and so that gave me the courage to do, uh, probably no, definitely the hardest breakup I've ever had to do in my life was to break up that relationship because, yeah, there were some really great things about it, but my diary helped me see that it was mostly bad.